In this video, I'm going to show you some basic guidelines for left-hand technique. There are always exceptions, so you want to keep that in mind, but these are general guidelines that you'll use most of the time. So, one thing with your left-hand fingers is to keep them curled up and close to the fretboard. It's very natural to want to splay them out like that, but keep your fingers all curled up and close. So they should be rounded at both joints. So that means right here and right here. In both joints, it's rounded. When I press down a note, I want to press down close to the fret wire because it'll be easier to press the note down there than it will further back. You don't want to be on the fret wire, but you want to be close to it. Also, I tend to use the fingertips on my left hand, and when my finger presses down, it makes a 90-degree angle. And what that does is that keeps me from accidentally muting other strings. So it looks like that. Also, with the left hand, I want to make sure that I'm not touching the first couple strings with the palm of my hand, the first and second string especially, because if that happens, then you won't get sound because this part of your hand is touching the strings. You don't want to do that. So if your hands are smaller, then you want to keep your thumb in the middle of the back of the neck and not let it come over the top. Okay, so you'll keep your thumb in the middle of the back of the neck and make sure that the palm of your hand is not touching the neck of the guitar. If your hands are a little bit larger, then you can bring your thumb over the top of the neck. That can be useful for muting strings and for comfort. You don't want it going sideways. You just want it coming straight up and over like that. You can mute that sixth string with it. But you still need to make sure that the palm of your hand is not touching your first or second strings. That would cause muting, which we don't want. Also, whether your thumb comes over the top or not also depends on whether you are playing single notes or chords. For chords, I'm more likely to let my thumb come over the top of the neck. For single notes, I might need my thumb more centered on the back of the neck just to give me the room and the reach to get to all the notes that I want easily. So again, just to review, your thumb can come over the top if you're playing chords and if you have larger hands. If you have small hands or you're playing single notes, you'll need your thumb to stay more in the center of the back of the neck. You want your joints rounded, and you don't want them collapsing like that. There are times when you'll do that, but most of the time you want your joints not to collapse. Keep your fingers curled up and close to the fretboard. That way when it's time to change chords or change notes, they're already in position.